Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Boy, has it been a minute. Like this time, Trisha, it has been a minute. But hey, I came here with receipts, I came here with explanation, and everything. Um, so very quickly, I'm just going to be sharing this with you all, my YouTube farm, to explain to you guys why I have been missing in action. Literally, I think it's really been a while. I think my last video was that whole post-election rant. So it's been an actual while. Do you understand? And like I've been trying to like get this out, but I've been looking for the best time to be in the best mood and all of that stuff because I wasn't really like I haven't been feeling myself. Obviously, from the title of this video, it's depressed to depressed. It doesn't mean I was depressed, yeah. Like it's just obviously to get the whole catchy title feel. But I mean, I'm not going to like admit that I was depressed. Obviously, nobody's gonna do that. Do you understand? But hey, once I tell you my story, then you can decide for yourself. So, without further ado, I'm just going to get right into the video. All right, guys. So, before I start, I'm just going to like say this. There are like very few things in life that I'm actually passionate about. Do you understand? Like, I mean, I can literally count how many things I'm passionate about because like I don't like to do too much. Do you understand? So I have like obviously my family and then we have work. Work is like the next best thing for me. Do you understand? So I'm very passionate about like my work, about what I do. Do you understand? So um basically, yes, because there are very few things I'm very passionate about. If something should happen to like one of these things that I'm passionate about, it will enter me very, very well. And so that is pretty much what happened. This happened in April, and it's just crazy that this is June. That's just to show you like how much I've been dealing. So yeah, I got my biggest like in my whole how many years of writing, of being a content writer and of working, freelancing and even working 9 to 5 and stuff. I got my biggest gig this year, at the beginning of this year. In case you can hear any background noise, I'm so sorry about that. I am a student, I stay in school and I live in a lodge, so there are other human beings outside that door and they always make noise. So sorry about that. Okay, so as I was saying, guys, so I got my biggest gig this year, very exciting, very amazing. Like, I was so happy. I felt like, oh my God, like, biggest gig in the sense that, like, the pay was massive. The pay was the job I'm currently doing times 3. Yes, that is how massive. So that was like my biggest gig ever. And, like, oh my God. As much as this was my biggest gig, like in terms of pay, it was also my biggest gig in terms of like responsibility, in terms of the work I had to put into it. It was a lot. It took a lot from me and stuff, and like, oh my God. But this job, I was really, really happy when I got it. Now, I just want to say something also before I continue. Now, when the devil wants to put you in the mood that he wants to have you be in, the very, scary mood, the sad kind of like depressed feel you get, like he makes you forget like a lot of things. He makes you forget all of your achievements, your accomplishments. He makes you forget like even the fact that if you have issues, if you have problems, you actually have people to run to. I don't have a very large circle. I'm not even going to lie about that. I keep my circle very, very small. But in my life, I know that like I have people that I can actually reach out to, like when I don't feel my best. Do you understand? But now the thing about this is, right, when these kind of things happen, you don't even remember that you can reach out to anybody, literally, and you don't remember all of the other things that you have accomplished in life or all of the other like things that you have going for you. Because I want to say, at the time where I got this very big gig, I was already working. I was freelancing, and then from time to time I was getting small gigs here and there. But then I was working like a full-time job for a company that I've been working for since last year, that I'm even still currently working for. So do you understand? So I forgot all of this. That is the funny thing. And it's just crazy. So wow, so at the time this happened, at the time I got this job, I was already working. But hey, it's me. It's me. And because of how much Popular Nations has grown, I have been able to like delegate from time to time. So obviously, no biggie. I can take like up more jobs and all of that stuff. So that's the gist right now. Okay, so basically I got this job, everything was going well. It wasn't going well though. Like it was a struggle because it was a Pakistan company. Maybe it is a Pakistan company. So every communication was kind of whack initially. I'm not even going to lie. So we just decided to be texting in English instead of doing it, because we had to be calling, like making calls for check-ins for quality assurance, check-ins, but it wasn't working for the Nigerians. So we decided I would just do more of texting. So with time, it got better. Communication, work, everything. Initially, I didn't really get the gist of the job, but with time, there were progress reports, So my team lead started to even appraise me. My quality assurance person, he started appraising me. In fact, I started getting distinguished grades because, okay, let me just give you the gist. I was writing research papers for college students, abroad. So I was getting distinguished grades. So the thing is, when the bad thing happened, right? Because I'm coming to that, I forgot all of this. I even forgot all the appraisals. And I don't know, like if you're watching this now and if we have each other's contacts and you used to see my status, you'll notice that like there were some times like I just post screenshots of my team leads and my quality assurance personnel like appraising me, and I'll be like, after all the stress you guys have put me through and all of that stuff, I made all those kind of comments and I posted these screenshots. Do you understand? So I have them. I have receipts and I kept them. Now, while like I was in that mood, in that zone, I forgot all of these things. These are things that I would have like ordinarily like looked at and be like, okay, girl, you were doing fine. These people just have an internal problem. Do you understand? So, but I forgot all of this. I didn't think about it. So basically, let's fast forward to, okay, so I started getting better at the job and everything was going well, and I started chopping the salary, and it was even a struggle to get my first salary, but that's the story for another day. In fact, I should make a video about how to get money from the abroad, because man, that was hectic. So, I started chopping salaries and all of that stuff, and it was going real good. And just one day, out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere, my people, I got this email that I had to be let go of. And I'm like, sorry, what? Because just yesterday, Alishba was telling me how good I had become. She was asking me if I wanted to work on Eid days, because these people are Muslims, obviously. So if you work on Eid days, you'll be compensated greatly. So obviously, I mean, that's not my holiday, so why not if not? So in fact, so my team lead, to see how good I was getting, my team lead wanted me to work on Eid days where like others weren't working because of the public holiday. Do you get? Now, maybe if that email came with some sort of like explanation, maybe that, okay, so we're experiencing something in the company and we have to let you go, we cannot pay anymore, like maybe something just to like make me understand that I'm not going crazy and everything that happened the past month actually like happened, like I was getting better, right? Like everything was going well, right? Like even if I did something wrong, like maybe they would have mentioned it there. Do you understand? Like they would have just said something. I just needed something to flow with, like to go with, like, do you understand? But nope, I didn't get the chance. So first, when I saw the email, obviously I was like downcast. I was really sad. In fact, I just put off my phone and left it. And then on second thought, I was like, nah, you all have to explain to me, because like you cannot just kick me out. Like I need some explanations. And then I came online and I noticed that, because we're using Slack, that was the platform, I noticed that I was removed from the Slack platform. Everything, they disconnected, from me. And I'm just like, so basically, I feel like it's the fact that I didn't get the closure that I should have gotten, and maybe like the explanation for why I was let go. Maybe that's why the whole process was just harder than like it should have been. Do you understand? Because no explanation. And the time like I got a little bit of strength, and I came online to ask, like, okay, please, can we hold a meeting or something? I couldn't. Nobody was talking to me anymore. I emailed HR. HR was no more responding. Nobody was responding. I was running mad. Like I was like, hey God, these people are joking. And this was like 25th of April. I can remember very, very vividly. So the month wasn't over, meaning I hadn't gotten my salary yet. So people, I was running mad. And I was like, I couldn't reach anybody. So like, what was that about? So again, I feel like it's the fact that like they just cut me off totally after just that message. It really messed with me, and I just didn't think of anything thoroughly. So that happened, and I was really, really sad for days. I don't even know. Like, in fact, from that particular thing, a lot of other things were not happening. So many things were just annoying me. Like, I was just tired. I had a fallout with a friend, a lot of things there accumulating, and I was just uninterested in anything. Do you understand? Like, even my friends, like, I wasn't staying so much in school anymore. Like, after school, after everything that's supposed to be done in school, I'll just like walk back to my lodge. I wasn't in for the chit chat. I wasn't in for anything. Like, I did not even, like, the funny thing is, like, I did not even know how much that affected me. I know that I cried about it, obviously, and I know that, like, I had like a lot of questions that were unanswered and everything, but I didn't think it was going to affect me so much. But I noticed I was derailing in life generally, and I thank God for that. Do you understand? I thank God for that, realization, because if I had not realized, I don't know if I'll be able to make this video. Do you understand? But I thank God, and I think in all of this, like, I think God was just like with me throughout the whole process, because boy, it was a very frustrating one. And maybe while talking about it now, like, I see how, like, I just feel like, nah, I shouldn't have, like, that shouldn't have done anything to me at all. Because if I had remembered all of these things, if I had remembered these receipts I had, like, that I could check and say, nah, I was doing right. Something was definitely up with this company, and that's why they wanted to let me go, but they did not want to tell me. If, like, or if I had reached out to somebody, oh my God, if I had reached out to somebody, they would have reminded me of it, like, but you said you were already doing good. You said you were already getting, like, you got the Eid deal, for the bonus. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? But the devil made me totally forget that I had people in the world, and that I had backing, and truly I could, like, actually look at my progress, my distinguished grades, for instance, and see that I was doing something right. The worst part of all is, as I said, I was already doing other jobs. I was already my current job now. I've been working there for since last year. I've moved from one department to the other because they are like different stages, but I've been working in the same company since last year up to this very moment. So the problem wasn't me. If I was such a bad employee, I would not keep these remaining jobs. Do you understand? But I still have these gigs. I still have these freelancing gigs once in a while. Like, I still have these other things going for me. So now that I think about it, I was never the problem. And I don't know why I even thought I was. I don't know why I felt like that. But obviously, it was the fact that I didn't get closure from that job. And it was obviously like the way I was let go. That was really bad. And of course, the money too. That was like serious salary. I think I had already even made plans for it. I think God was just trying to humble me truly in a way, because I had made plans for, like, in fact, if I had saved up to 6 months salary, 6 months, I would have been driving like a car. I would have had my own ride by now. Don't mind me. But you get me. Like, it was so frustrating. Oh my God. And, I thank God that I did not forget to always pray, because I knew something was wrong with me, but I just didn't know how to, like, get out of that whole mood. But so I thank God that God was still there with me, like, the whole phase. Do you understand? Because, like, that's something that I'm never going to, like, forget to even point out truly. From the whole realization process, I was like, nah, I need to get better, because, like, this is so not me. Like, I was so boring. Everything was just really tiring. I couldn't even tell my sisters about it till, like, the very last minute. You understand? So let's just fast forward basically to when I started getting better. I'm not going to say that it was some kind of, like, magic trick, but I know that truly it was God that actually helped me. He reminded me of these things. And the funny thing, right, is sometimes it's actually good to just be able to talk to somebody. I think I don't think anybody says this enough, but I get that nobody wants to share. Because me, I don't share things. I don't share so much. But once in a while, like, if you're going through something, I think it's just okay to just try to, talk about it. Just talk about it. So I told my elder sister that I lost my job, and she really encouraged me. She bombarded me with a lot of chats, and most times I was just like rolling my eye, like, I know. But then again, like, it was getting deeper and deeper, and it was entering truly. Do you understand? So it made sense, and all of this like little things just like really put me back on my feet. But I'm not even going to like, because I don't want to like make you think it was like magical, because if it happens to you, God forbid, like if you start feeling low and stuff, and trust me, it's not going to be easy. Like it wasn't even easy for me, do you get? But if you can, the first thing to do is just to talk. Like if you can, because there'll be like so much burden will be lifted. Do you understand? So that was basically what happened. And then I was on my YouVersion. I just completed my normal devotional, the one I use every day, and I was just scrolling and I saw this other one, and it was titled Depressed to Depressed. And that is like, I'm giving a shout out to YouVersion and that whole devotional, because I mean that's the title of this video anyway. Do you understand? So I do, that was really random, but obviously that was God, so let's not call it random. So I stumbled upon the Depressed to Depressed devotional, and I was like, oh, will I say I'm depressed? I'm in. But I checked it out, and it was really also very helpful. That was like basically what I used for the next 7 days, because it was a like 1 week devotional. And then I started to listen to more like edifying things, like not just like general like edifying messages, but the ones that were relating to my mood, to how I felt, to anger, to sadness, to, do you understand, like how I was just feeling in the moment, because I had to deal with it. I was not going to be like, I didn't want to do any general, okay, let's do general prayer, general devotion. I wanted to tackle it, do you understand, as it was. So that was it. And with time, basically, I just got back out there. Before, hey, me and LinkedIn, brother and sister, you think it's my father that owns that app. Well, after that thing, I wasn't even hustling for jobs. I was just like, you know what, I'm okay with the ones I have. Let's just at all, let's just keep moving. Do you get? But I started like, I started like opening up more. In fact, it's even while I was so sad that I was getting more jobs, which was very weird. Okay, not initially. Okay, let me just stop right there. Not initially, but like when I started actually healing, I started getting more small gigs here and there, and even for jazz and boxes too. I started getting like jobs there. So all these things were like they now started taking my mind off things. I now started getting consumed again by work, what I love. Do you get? So it started becoming like exciting. I started like, okay, I think I'm getting back. Do you get? And then I noticed the whole progress. So basically that was just how like I started to feel better, I started to get better at everything. And I am here today. I'm good, I'm fine. I have moved on, and I'm good. Whatever happened, it was their loss, and it was probably an internal problem that they didn't want to talk about, because they totally ghosted me. So yep. Yeah, so that's basically my story. So it's left for you right now to decide if you'd call that like depression. Was that depressed? I mean, still I'll say no and stuff, but hey, I just thought to let you all know why I have been MIA. But I'm good now, I'm fine. In fact, I have content ready, waiting for you all, and I cannot wait to share them with you guys. I'm going to be more consistent just because I want to start making money from this YouTube of a thing, and I need all of the support I can get. Do you understand? But hey, don't forget to give you a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Show this video some love, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.